What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're going to be doing a Week 8 2015 NFL recap for the Sunday games. If you're interested in the Thursday game, that's on a different podcast, available on YouTube and on the Android and iTunes. iTunes is directly there. Just go to iTunes and type in GmiasWorld Podcast. For the Android users in the Google Play Store, it's just going to be download the podcast Source app. And inside that app, you just search the GmiasWorld Podcast, and you'll find the recaps for NFL, some funny recaps, all kind of craziness. I don't only do football or NBA. I do things about other subjects as well. But for now, let's go ahead and jump into this Week 8 2015 Sunday game recap, because there was a lot of things that happened that were very, very ridiculous and also very, very exciting at the same time. We're going to go ahead and start off with the Detroit at Kansas City. That game was also played in London. Kansas City Chiefs, completely obliterated the Detroit Lions. They're garbage. They're disgusting. They firing everybody around Jim Caldwell instead of identifying what the problem is, which is Jim Caldwell. I don't really understand exactly what's happening. I don't know why it's happening. That he's still a coach in the National Football League. When you got, this guy, Alex Smith was running around like Michael Vick. Like, it was just, it's disgusting, man. The Lions are a really horrible team. Calvin Johnson is a joke. Matthew Stafford is a bum. I just don't know where to go with this anymore. I don't know how much more the people can take. How much more can you take of Jim Caldwell? Lions fans, please leave a comment. Tweet me on Twitter at GmiasWorld. How much more can you tolerate as a fan from the Detroit Lions? We're looking at Jim Caldwell's face on the sideline. Now you got some guy named Jim Bob. That's the offensive coordinator because they fired the other guy, or Jim Bobby Thornton, or Jim Bob. I don't give a listen, man. Fire everybody. Clean house. Fire everybody. As far as the Kansas City Chiefs go, they're just floating around in purgatory. Nothing is really expected from them. Jamal Charles being gone kind of pretty much like it just eliminated any type of hope for them. So I'm not gonna really worry about that anymore. As far as that goes with the Kansas City Chiefs, I just think that they're pretty much done. And that's it. It's not to be offensive. It's just like anybody could beat on the Lions. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter with that. That's something that it is what it is. I'm not gonna dwell and continue to go into it and try to figure out a way to say that the Lions should be in the National Football League at this time. Remember, that's the team that went 0-16. They're disgusting when they're disgusting. They're just outright horrible, the Detroit Lions. So if you're beating on them, that doesn't really mean anything. But kudos to the Royals and everything like that with Kansas City, stuff like that. But as far as the Chiefs go, the football team, I don't see nothing happening there, bro. So we're just gonna go ahead and move on. That team, it doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes sense that's going on with either one of these teams. But Kansas City went out there and played, and they destroyed them like they're supposed to. And it is what it is. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Tampa Bay 23, Atlanta 20. This went into overtime. And this is why nobody took Atlanta serious. And, me at the beginning when I was watching them play, they came back, they beat a lot of teams, they beat the Giants, they beat some good teams. And I'm like, well, not the good teams. Giants suck. We're going to get to them in a second. But, you're looking at it and you're like, how is Tampa Bay beating this team? The NFL is so crazy, but these are the kind of games that people lose everything on. They bet their house, they bet everything, and that's what they do. And it's just so stupid the way the game transpires. How are you this guy gets stripped by like a rookie linebacker, this guy Julio Jones. Like, bro, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? The other idiot, Matty Not Ice, is fumbling everywhere. Like, all right, so we're just going to go ahead and say that they're not going anywhere. That whole Dan Quinn era is over. We're going to just go ahead and do that. They're not recovering from losing to Tampa Bay. When you lose to Lovie Smith, you're going to have nightmares like Freddy Krueger's involved, bro. Like, you can't lose to Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith is a horrible coach, bro. Listen, I don't think guys realize how bad of a coach he is. I don't think they realize it. You have to understand what I'm trying to tell you, bro. This guy is a joke. He's a joke. Just look at his face, and you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. But Atlanta, you had a nice run, bro. I know you guys going to be mad at me in the dirty. I'm just keeping it real. When you lose to a team like Tampa Bay, you got Jameis Rapist Winston running in plays that wasn't even a QB run. He just making up stuff and just running it in. Oh, okay, let me do this. He's mad fat. He looks so ridiculous running the ball in there, and you guys let him do it. Unbelievable. So I'm just going to go ahead and count ATL coming out of the North, out of the NFC. I'm gonna go ahead and just count them out. They're gonna say they're not gonna beat anybody of importance. If you can't beat the Buccaneers, San Diego at Baltimore. Baltimore 29, San Diego 26. This was like a doo-doo fest game, like doo-doo fest, like doo-doo, like it was trash. San Diego showed some light. I think Phillip Rivers just celebrated his 8th kid. I thought he was on his 19th. Either way, he should just go back and just have some more sex and lose the rest of his testosterone because he's a bum. Well, he's not really a bum. He played well, but the team is just horrible. So when the team's horrible, you blame the quarterback mostly. Then it goes to the coach. But, I don't really understand what he was doing. I don't know what he was doing, why he was doing it, the reasoning behind why he was doing it, what would make him think it was okay to do it. But San Diego Chargers, they're very disappointing. They're very, very extremely disappointing at this point. The Baltimore Ravens have sucked the whole year. But, Steve Smith Sr., that may have been the last that we've seen of him. The guy's out with a torn Achilles on a really, really ridiculous play. And he knew it. He felt it right away. He already knew it. He was just like, yo, bro, come pick me up. It's done. Come pick me up right now. Cause this one right here, yeah, I can feel it in my ankle, dog. We're done. Bro, Achilles time. Like, bro, you're done. The man has had a tremendous career. I believe that he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know what you guys think about it, but that's a really bad way to go out, man. The way that he did. So I don't know if he may try to come back. I would just stay out. Just say I think he's done enough with the yardage and the stuff that he's had. He just doesn't have a ring. And some people may say, whatever, bro, you're missing that one part. But a lot of people are in the Hall of Fame that don't have rings. So I'll just go ahead and say I think that Steve Smith Sr. is a Hall of Famer. And that's pretty much it. And I think the Baltimore Ravens suck ass. And that's my opinion on that. And so do the San Diego Chargers. I think they're both horrible teams this year. I think they need to go and just clean house. John Harbaugh I still like. The coach of the San Diego Chargers, who is that guy? I forgot his name. But he should be fired just because. He should just be fired. I forgot his name, though. But he's just been hanging around and not doing his job, bro, because the team's been losing on a regular basis. And it's starting to get sickening now. Either way, they both suck at this point. And at this tenure right now for both coaches, I would definitely stick with a John Harbaugh. The other guy, is it Mick something? Mick something? I don't know. It's something with a Mick. I don't know what it is. It's something. I don't know what's going on. But either way, I'm going to tell you this right now. San Diego Chargers suck. Minnesota at Chicago. Minnesota 23 to Chicago Bears 20. Look, Alshon Jeffrey's a monster. I just want you guys to understand that. Alshon Jeffrey is a monster. And bro, it just, this guy Jay Cutler, he was playing with a little bit more aggressiveness. He trucked into the end zone, ran over somebody. He was playing with a little bit more emotion. I think it's too late for that, Jay Cutler, bro. I think you're a bum, dog. You know what I'm saying, bro? Trying to fight for your right to party right now. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's kind of late. The dude Diggs from Minnesota, though, is kind of beastly. Very, very fast. Very, very electric player. Teddy Bridgewater's doing his job to make this team, sustain themselves. Again, playoff team, maybe. Are they going to do anything in the playoffs? No. I haven't really heard anything from Adrian Beecher's son. He hasn't been the same guy overall. I don't really know what's going to happen as it goes on. So I can't really give them some kind of run in the playoffs like I could when Chris Carter and Randy Moss was there. Even though the Giants beat them brutally 41-0, I'll never forget that. But I don't know what's expected. I'm glad that a young team is starting to play well. A young quarterback, stuff like that. They're playing well, but I don't really see how far they're going to go. The Bears, we all know, they're not doing anything. They got a clean house. John Fox should be fired immediately. As soon as he was hired, he should have been fired right away. They should have just remembered that they hired him and fired him because he's not doing anything there. Pretty much a joke throughout that whole situation that's going on right there. That's pretty much overall a whole joke. Arizona at Cleveland. Arizona 34, Cleveland 20. At first, I thought McNown was going to put in work because they were beating on him, and then Arizona came back like a bat out of hell, took care of business. Fitzgerald fumbled. The other guy was Duke Johnson. He had a fumble. Like, dudes just fumbling everywhere. They still came back and beat him. What do you expect? It's Cleveland. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, they're going to come out there. They're going to be driving around with cars with Johnny Manziel, allegedly slapping his girlfriend. The girlfriend's going to say, please don't say nothing. He slapped the hell out of me. Like, it's going to be a lot of stuff that goes on with the Cleveland Browns that you're going to just have to deal with. But other than that, the game wasn't really as exciting. It was no, hold up. Arizona, it was Chris Johnson that fumbled, right? Yeah, Chris Johnson. I said Duke Johnson from the Cleveland Browns. It was actually Chris Johnson that fumbled early in the game, and Fitzgerald did it as well. But it is what it is, man. The game, Arizona pulled it out. You're gonna have tough games like this, but they pulled it out, and that's all you can really say about it. There's nothing. I can't really be down on the team that comes out and they play bad and they finish, because it's all about how you finish. Obviously, it's a score that we look at. We're not looking at anything else. It's the score. Oh, you lost? You're a bum. It's week to week, bro. It's very, very few teams that can lose and not be called a bum the next week. And that's probably the Patriots, and probably that's it. Because you know what you get from the Patriots week in, week out. But other than that, the Browns did what they were supposed to do. They lost. Mike Peyton should be fired right now as I'm doing this podcast, and we move on from that. Tennessee at Houston 20, Tennessee 6. This game was a fucking joke. Excuse my French. I know that fuck is not French, but excuse my French, this game was garbage, and I didn't enjoy it at all, and I hope everybody that was involved with it, just goes home and just, has the flu for like a day, and then they're back up on their feet and everything like that, because it was just horrible. Everything that was involved with it was a garbage game. Everything about it sucked. I can't do it anymore. I hate it. New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans 52, New York Giants 49. I'm going to tell you this right now. Drew Brees went out there and just said, look, bro, I'm a Hall of Famer, dog. 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had 4 touchdowns in the first half. What the hell are the Giants doing? What are they doing? What are the Giants doing? Hey, Giant fans, what are you guys doing? Coaches, staff, what are you guys doing? How do you give up 52 points, bro? Yo, man. Drew Brees out there looking like a vintage Tom Brady, bro. Yo, I don't know what that... Well, I can't even say that because Drew Brees has been great for a while. OBJ has 3 touchdowns. The Giants and the Saints defenses are trash. Garbage. At least we know now the Giants are not doing anything. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that the Giants are not going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to do anything. I think they're done. Let me just say that. I'm just going to... I'm going to go ahead and say that they're not making the playoffs. They suck. I hate them. I'm a New Yorker, but I just can't. I was really, really thinking that they had a shot to do wonderful things, and all they've done is let all of New York down every week. Every week. They suck. But let's just talk about Drew Brees for a second. That 7 TD, I was hoping that he could throw the 8th and just break the record for most in the game, but it didn't happen. But it was an unbelievable game. This game was very, very exciting. It was like a video game. It was like back and forth. I did not think for 1 second that this was professional football with the way that points was being scored. But it just let me know that Rex Ryan's brother, Rob Ryan, is a joke as a defensive coordinator. And it made me know that the New York Giants, they don't know what the hell they're doing. So, either way, very, very exciting game, but embarrassing for the league. Like, bro, why are you guys professional athletes and you're out there getting dotted up? Did you see that pass on the left to Brandon Cooks, though? Like, bro, nobody was playing D at all. What the hell? OBJ has 3 touchdowns? Like, what the... Whatever, bro. It doesn't matter. This was like a little league game that just came out. Dudes just did whatever, man. Pop Warner, and that's it. It was over. It's over. They suck. The New York Giants suck. The New York Giants are so damn horrible. They suck. And that coach needs to be fired. Right now. Right now. Coughlin, get your stuff and go to Florida or wherever the frick people that are old go to die. And just leave. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Cincinnati 16, Pittsburgh 10. I didn't think that Ben Roethlisberger should have come back there early, but he played well. Le'Veon Bell out for the season, allegedly, bro. Bro, allegedly. Well, that's what's being predicted right now. They're saying it wasn't the ACL, it's the MCL. I don't give a F if it's the PCL. You know what I'm saying, bro? That guy is gone for days. He's done. He's starting to be too injury prone as well. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, enough's enough, man. Enough's enough with this guy. I don't know what this guy's doing. This guy needs to just go away, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, come on, stop being, not really go away, but why are you always hurt? And I know it's a violent game. I'm going to get to that in a second when we get to that Seattle game. But, come on, man. Yo, you got to be able to play, man. It is just such a freakish injury, going out of bounds and your knee getting tied up. And, oh, man, it's tough. Big Ben Roethlisberger played okay, but, he threw the ball out of bounds at the end of the game. You can't do that. Cincinnati has shown us what they always showed us. Even though this is the first time I believe that they're 7-0. They always do this in the regular season. I'm not worried about this. This is not exciting me. I'm waiting to see what really happens when playoff time starts and these dudes are just garbage. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for Marvin Lewis to be Marvin Lewis in the playoffs. And if he doesn't do it, I'll be happy for Ohio, bro. Because he should have. The team has enough players. They're coming back from being down. They're doing everything that they're supposed to do to win. So let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Let's see exactly what happens, man. But I'm very, very happy for Cincinnati and those fans. Pittsburgh, man, Le'Veon Bell is out again, man. Good luck with that. San Francisco at St. Louis. Okay, first of all, Kaepernick is garbage because they're not even defending his wide receivers anymore. They're not even defending his wide receivers anymore. Guys, go back and check the highlights. They're not even defending wide receivers anymore. Dude, Kaepernick, why is he still starting in this league? Why is Kaepernick still starting in this league? Tom Sula, fire him, man. God damn it. Let's get to St. Louis, though. Todd Gurley's the real deal. I had some guys tweet me and, tell me, ask me my opinion on him. I knew he had like 300-yard games, whatever like that. And I'm just like, that happens. Sometimes rookies come in. Devontae Freeman was doing that. Let me just see a little bit more from him. This man is the real deal. And I know it's against San Francisco, but he's consistently putting up 100-plus yard games, bro, as a rookie, coming off such a bad injury out of college, man. Todd Gurley's the real deal. He's the real deal. Trey Mason will have to just come off the bench or something. He's garbage right now compared to Todd Gurley. The Rams' only problem is their coach, which is Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher was born a loser, and he will die a loser. That's it. That's pretty much it. Great win from the St. Louis Rams, though, and that's pretty much what it is. When it comes to winning games that count, though, I wouldn't put my money on Jeff Fisher. Other than that, it wasn't really much to talk about with the St. Louis Rams. Defensively, they played well, but they were playing the 49ers. They didn't even play D on wide receivers at certain points in the game. They just don't respect Kaepernick. Kaepernick is a horrible quarterback in this league, and maybe one day somebody will realize what's going on. New York Jets and Oakland Raiders. Oh my God, Geno Smith, how the hell did you get in this game? I don't know. The Jets really suck, man. Geno Smith is a horrible quarterback. This other idiot Fitzpatrick, somebody he got torn ligaments in his non-throwing hand. Well, bro, if it's in your non-throwing hand, they got to do something to get you the ball. You cannot put Geno Smith in the game. This man with 4 minutes left, Geno Smith, listen, his momentum stopped in bounds, and then he went out of bounds, so the clock keep running. With 4 minutes left, being down 2 touchdowns. Geno Smith is a joke. He's a joke that needs to be released. I doubt highly that he'll be back next year. And if he is back next year, fire Todd Bowles. That's it. I don't really care. I'm done. I don't care if it's his first year, whatever. You can't beat the Patriots, you're useless, whatever, you're gone. Get the F out of here. That's the only reason that these coaches are hired, is to beat certain people in their division and win championships. You can't beat the Patriots if you can't beat the Raiders. Like, the Raiders are out here manhandling you. And what is it, Derek Carr, though? Like, bro, this dude is playing like he's a national champion. Like, bro, like, the dude is coming back like whatever. Amari Cooper was kind of quiet for the most part, but then, did what he had to do. You had Crabtree. He's a crab-ass dude. You know what I'm saying, bro? But he's out there putting in work. I just can't. I can't with the way that these guys come out. The Jets have just been a continuous letdown. I don't know if it was the Patriots that just knocked everything out of them because they played so hard the week before, but they're just not a good team, man. The Jets are not going to be the wild card. They're just a horrible team, and Geno Smith is behind that. Geno Smith is a bum. Geno Smith is a bum. He's trash. You know what I'm saying, bro? And that's pretty much it. It's not even anything that I could really want to dwell in, but I got to give Oakland credit because a lot of people say, yeah, the Jets are making them win. No, the Oakland Raiders are playing well, and they have a decent team on defense and on offense. So before you start to run your mouth and say that, the Jets weren't up to it, you start giving these other teams credit that come out there. They practice, just like these other teams do. They come out there and they're professional football players just like these other teams are. And the Oakland Raiders did the same thing once upon a time, a couple weeks ago, to the team that people thought was going to do something with the San Diego Chargers. Remember that. They really thought the San Diego Chargers was doing something. The Raiders went in there and was taking care of them, bro. Bro, taking care of business, bro. And that's what you're supposed to do. So before people start saying, oh yeah, but this and that, no. Give them their credit. They're playing very, very well. And they deserve credit for what they're doing right now. Other than that, the Jets suck. Seattle at Dallas. Seattle 13, Dallas 12. This game was totally trash. Greg Hardy had that nice little tip pick on that screenplay. Ricardo Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks was hit very hard and just looked dead immediately. And everybody's like, take away the kickoff, take away this. Listen, the National Football League and football in general is a violent sport. Okay? The way that these guys come up to play, and that hit by Heath wasn't even that crazy. It was a legal hit and everything like that, so I don't want to hear no bullshit like this. It's part of the game. It's a violent game through history. If these guys want to continue to play it, they got to know that it's a risk. They make a lot of money playing this game. Do we want to see anybody die on the field? No, I would prefer not to see that. But I would also prefer to see hard hits. When Brian Dawkins played, they played Atlanta. I forgot what was that tight end that he hit. He hit some tight end in a championship game, and he dove at him, and he just sat there, and I was like, wow. And that's what football was like when these guys were playing. Joe Theismann and his leg broke. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, the game is violent. The game is violent, and I don't know why every time these commentators. Maybe they're paid to do that. They try to take away from it. You know, maybe they were talking about taking away special teams. What are you going to do to the game? You're just going to have the game start at whatever yard line and just make it like whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's part of football. You can make things, you could do things and implement things to make it safer. You guys have already gone extreme with all the concussion protocol and everything like that. Even though it's a very serious thing, you can do things to technology, to the helmets. You know, we're in 2015. You can make the game safer in different ways. But don't take away people's opportunity to make money. The special team players, you already ruined Devin Hess's career by moving the kickoff up five yards. That's huge. That made him useless because he can't catch as a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's fair overall to take away from these other guys that have been special team players for all this time, and the guys that get to walk on and be on an NFL team and start at special teams and then move up. It's just not fair to me that you're going to take away the food from their families' mouths if they're willing to put their lives on the line and everything like that, and they can sign a waiver, whatever they got to do. But football is a violent sport. People need to stop getting so crazy. Things are going to happen because that's what we watch for. We as fans watch for that. So if everybody's, let's take this out. No, that's what it is. That's what it is. You're going to take away, scratching your crotch from baseball? That's part of football. Part of football is the violent nature of it. And I hope everything goes well with Ricardo Lockett, but Russell Wilson sucks. I know I just got that in there like that, but I understand that he's clutch at the end, but he's starting to become Tim Tebow-esque to me because he's playing like shit all throughout the game, and then in the fourth quarter making a couple plays for them to win. This game they shouldn't have won though. At one point it was 12 men on the field or something like that, and the refs didn't give the Dallas Cowboys the call. That was very controversial to me, but it is what it is. All we care about again is the score, which is 13-12, and that's it. It was a horrible game from both parties. Darren McFadden did well, but not enough to win, and they're still lost. They still have nothing but losses since Tony Romo has been out. In my opinion, if Tony Romo comes back and this team wins games to make the playoffs, he should be the undoubtedly the MVP. Even with the season that Tom Brady's having, he should undoubtedly be the MVP. Seriously, the most valuable player, absolutely, because without him there, that team is falling apart, man. Whedon sucks. Matt Castle's garbage. It's a joke. I don't even know. Jason Garrett's still the coach. Like, everything is just effed up over there, man. I don't even know what's going on, but at the end of the day, they suck. Green Bay at Denver. I actually picked Green Bay to win this game. I don't know why I did that when I knew what the Denver's defense was about, and I knew the Denver defense was for real. They've been the only consistent defense in the NFL. Next to the Patriots. I don't know why I would doubt them. I'm an idiot. But Aaron Rodgers is a bum, and he's garbage, and I hate him. And that's pretty much it for that. Anybody that was talking trash, including me, about Peyton Manning's arm, boy, did he shut us the F up yesterday. Because this mother effer was throwing the ball right down the field. High arcs, deep. Demaryius Thomas is putting in work. Listen, I don't know what the heck. Whatever, man. I don't know if he morphed into something else, if he went to go see that doctor in Germany. Whatever he did, bro, Peyton Manning looked like old Peyton Manning. He was just out there just doing whatever. I guess he just, when it counts, he might play like a bum with bum teams, but then when it counts, he comes out and just does whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't understand exactly what happened yesterday to Peyton Manning's arm. But all of a sudden, it wasn't a noodle anymore. It just wasn't a noodle. The dude just... It was unbelievable to watch. I don't know. But at the end of the day, the Green Bay Packers are a joke. You go in there undefeated and you get demolished like that. That's crazy, man. That doesn't make any sense. That right there is a joke. Man, bro. They're such a disappointment, the Green Bay Packers. So that lets me know that they're not going anywhere in the North. Well, in the North, they're probably going to go, they're going to be okay, whatever, but they're beatable. James Jones had 2 yards. His forward progress was stopped, and the ref said no, it wasn't, and he got 2 yards for the entire game. So it is what it is with that. Green Bay Packers suck. Denver Broncos look for real. If Peyton Manning could play like that, and that defense could play like that, they may be the only team that can beat the Patriots. I wouldn't go that far. You know what I'm saying, bro? Because I think even right now, Tom Brady will take care of the Denver Broncos. But if the Denver Broncos can play that defense like that against the Patriots, that may be the only team. And if, Peyton Manning is able to outsmart Bill Belichick, which I don't think is going to happen, and plus Bill Belichick has mad film on him even when he's sleeping. Bill Belichick don't give a F. But that team may be the only team that possibly do something to beat the Patriots. Is the Denver Broncos with that defense. That defense is so lethal, man. That defense is so lethal, and they showed it yesterday. Who's supposed to be, the bad man that he is? He wasn't yesterday. He was horrible. The Green Bay Packers suck. And that's pretty much it. And also, I'll have to recant all my statements about Peyton Manning being a bum with a noodle arm. Thank you very much, guys. For all the other podcasts I did for all year when I was calling him a noodle arm piece of crap, I apologize. And that's it. He's back to be a Peyton Manning, at least for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. Definitely check out the Podcast Source app on Android to download GmiasWorld Podcast. If you're on iTunes, just go to GmiasWorld Podcast on iTunes, and you can get it on the go, along with a lot of other podcasts. Download it for free. Everything is free. And for the most part, subscribe to me on YouTube at GmiasWorld. Follow me on Twitter at GmiasWorld. Like me on Facebook at GmiasWorld. And follow me on Instagram at GmiasWorld. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And until next time, one love.